He goes, ask him how my tastes.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
It was a Snapchat selfie with that on the bottom.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be kicking it off by breaking down a TikTok clip from this woman right here, who has been tricked by Chad yet again, okay? A lot of these girls are out here complaining, oh, men are lying to us, men are treating us poorly, I just can't seem to find a real man. Well, let's see if that's true and break down her story, guys. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments as we jump in, and let's just take a listen.
I'm so hungover. I fully blacked out yesterday. Any makeup on my face is from yesterday, but I have the biggest douchebag story for y'all. Let me pull up texts. Okay, these are real things that this man said to me. I said, I feel weird telling you things. And he said, I want to hear everything. I love talking to you. I genuinely loved being around you. You're so cute. I like you more.
Okay, let's pause it right here, guys. I just want to make this very clear, okay? These text messages that this woman is pulling up right here, these are only acceptable because the dude is highly attractive to her. Okay, if you're an average Joe, if you're not super attractive to the girl, you are going to be seen as a creep. You are going to be treated like a psycho, essentially. You're going to be brought up in the group chats of like, ew, look at this creepy guy trying to talk to me, blah, 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 all of this kind of crap, okay? This kind of stuff, what it's called is it's called love bombing, okay? This only works if you are attractive to the girl. It doesn't work the rest of the time. Okay, you will be called all sorts of names, guys. All sorts of creepy stuff, you know, awful adjectives in the group chat.
Talking to you. I genuinely loved being around you. You're so cute. I like you more. Miss you. You're the cutie. You know how much I like you, and obviously I'm trying to take you on a date tomorrow. You know I have feelings for you. If I wake up and get a breakfast burrito with you, you know that I'm crazy about you. Okay,
let's pause it right there, okay? Anybody who has some sense, okay, and this woman is literally going to go on in a second and say this, okay? Anybody who has 2 licks of sense about them knows that this is a red flag. Particularly women should know this, okay? Because this is what a lot of, you know, highly attractive dudes do. They come in, they'll whisper these sweet nothings, and then they'll just ghost these girls after they've had their fun. So this is not something that's hard to recognize, all right?
So all these things. And in my head, I am thinking, love bomber. Fuck boy. Like, I tell him over and over and over again, like, I know you're being a fuck boy. Like, I know you're gonna ghost me. He's like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Typical guy, whatever.
Yeah, typical guy that you choose. So let's pause right here. You know, this woman knows, and guys, this is why I have, one of the many reasons, excuse me, why I have no sympathy, is because they know what's about to happen. Okay, you will hear the stories of, oh, Chad ghosted me, he's such a D-bag, you know, all men are this, all men are that, okay? But this woman, they know the signs, guys, but just somehow, miraculously, they end up in the dude's bed, right? Oh, she was sweet-talked there, right? She gave him... excuse me, he gave her the validation and the admiration that she so desperately needed and wasn't getting, you know, on Instagram and all this other crap anyway. Right? They'll tell you all these lies, guys. They were sweet talked. They're the victim in the situation. When in actual fact, they know the entire damn time that the dude's probably going to ghost them. Why do they do it, guys? Well, of course, they do it for the fun, right? And then they also do it for like that slim 1% chance that maybe the guy will actually commit to her. Right, and again, this is not rocket science, okay? If you're a father and you have a daughter, you can spot this crap from a mile away, but all these girls want to pull the victim card knowing full well it's coming. It's ridiculous.
I'm stupid, okay? And like, you hear the things that you want to hear, and so you kind of start to believe it. This past Friday, we had full-on plans to go on a date, a time, like a full plan, right? Like an hour before, he's texting me, sending me like photos of his room, and he's like, I cleaned it for you, yada, yada, yada. And then I text him when I'm supposed to leave, and I'm like, hey, what's your address? Nothing. I call him, nothing. I'm like, whatever, cool, he's blowing me off, ghosting me.
Let's pause right there, because this is where things start to make no sense, by the way, okay? So she says that they're going on a full-on date, and this guy is sitting here talking about his room. So, look, my suspicions are this isn't really a date, or, like, again, this guy is, like, Snapchatting her, or sending pictures or whatever, of his room, and this woman wants us to believe, like, they're having a super serious date. Like, what are you talking about?
So then, doesn't message me at all yesterday, the day after, to like apologize, like, oh my god, like I fell asleep or whatever, like make up an excuse. Says nothing until like midnight when he Snapchats me because I put my ex-boyfriend on my Snapchat story, long story, and he goes, ask him how my tastes. It was a Snapchat selfie with that on the bottom.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
I hate men. All of them.
Yeah, okay, so this is men's fault. So let's wrap this up and try and make some sense out of this. Now, she was a bit unclear about what happened here, okay? But what I take to have happened, in between all the little logical inconsistencies going on, is that she met up with this dude, she had the bedroom fun with this dude, and then he wasn't talking to her after the fact until she put up a story of herself and her ex-boyfriend on her Snapchat story. That's reading between the lines. That's what it sounds like happened to me. You guys let me know in the comments what you guys think happened. I think basically he had his fun, he ghosted her, and then she puts up a story of her ex-boyfriend, and then the guy shoots this funny message where he asks, you know, how's my thing taste, okay? Right? That's my view of what exactly happened here. Now let's cut the crap here, okay? So this woman wraps up the video, and we're going to be moving on with today's episode in a minute, okay? She wraps up the video by saying that she hates men, all of them. Okay, so let's plot this out. One, she knew that the dude just wanted to have fun. Like, he's Snapchatting pictures of his room, for goodness sake, saying, like, he's whispering sweet nothings. She knows that it's coming. He's completely lying to her. Anybody under the sun sees it, but oh, she just happened to slip and end up in his bed. Okay, so she's the victim in this situation. Then what she does, in order to get his attention again, right, in order to get his attention after being like slightly ghosted or him not talking to her for a bit for the next 1 or 2 days or whatever, she decides to go out here and to post a story of herself with her ex-boyfriend. Okay, so what you're attempting to do, what this woman is attempting to do, is to sit here and manipulate the dude that she just saw to get some attention from him again. And what does he do? He cracks a joke at her expense and humiliates her. Okay, which all the power to him, okay? This woman is trying to manipulate the guy. So it's amazing to me, right, how women will paint themselves as the victim. Meanwhile, they're trying to manipulate two dudes at once. Right, she's using the ex-boyfriend to manipulate the dude that she just saw for bedroom fun, all the while claiming that she's the victim and she didn't see any of this coming, and she hates men, she hates all of them. I'm going to play the last bit of that before we move on to the next clip, guys, because, you know, you can't really make this stuff up until it plays out in real time.
He Snapchats me because I put...
Hang on.
My dick with... It was a Snapchat selfie with that on the bottom. I hate men. All of them.
Yeah, and that's her conclusion. She hates men, she hates all of them because of a series of decisions that she made that anybody with any sense about them could tell her what exactly would happen. Okay, and this is why we need fathers, guys. A lot of these girls who do crap like this have no father in the household, no nothing, but don't you worry, guys, they are strong and independent. They know exactly what is going on. Now, guys, we are going to be continuing on in today's episode to a few more TikToks. Before we do, guys, as always, don't forget to subscribe on your way in. Come and join us over on Locals, and let's just move on to the next video. Now, we have a bunch of videos pulled up from this woman right here, who, to be honest, is an absolute headache. But let's take a listen to what she has to say.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
Yes.
I'm happy to answer a more specific question. But
Male versus female.
there are medical procedures.
Okay. That the government has the power to make a decision about a man's body.
I thought you were asking about medical procedures that are unique to men.
I'll repeat the question. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
Yes.
Can you think of...
So obviously, guys, this is the clip here. It just ended, right? It's on a loop. And here we have a woman thinking that she's done something, okay? When in actual fact, the draft, for example, exists, right? Like, literally, guys, men are conscripted into wars when everything hits the fan, when everything is going terribly, guys, when we've got these wars breaking out, when people need to make sacrifices. Who are the ones that are pushed up to the front lines to make the sacrifices? It is the men, okay? Like, it's so funny to me how these girls are so blind to the sacrifices that men make, and they'll spit all over them, while at the same time being the most privileged group of people to walk the face of the planet. Look at this girl right here, guys. Look at this, okay? She's wearing a blazer, got, you know, makeup on, you know, dressed to the nines right here, trying to make a point about women's oppression. Get out of here, bro. But let's have a read of some of these comments, because it gets even more clown worldy. And we haven't even talked about divorce courts, mind you, where men are forced to use their bodies to pay for women who aren't even their wives or girlfriends or anything like that. But all of that aside, let's take a look at some of these comments, okay? And this person right here, user 3775 blah blah blah, makes the point, how about the draft? What's your take on that? And of course, I agree with this person right here. As you know, I just brought up the draft, okay? But you've got all these idiots in the comments. Take a look at this. You can't really compare the A word with the draft. One's a medical procedure, and the other is selected civilians going to war. Yeah, men who are selected, right? Notice how these people, whenever you give them an answer, guys, they will just sit there and shift the goalposts, okay? The question was, you know, do governments make legislation specifically towards men to target their bodies because obviously this happens to women? Yeah, the draft is one such example, okay? So when this person says it, what do? They say, oh, these are not the same thing. One's a medical procedure. It's ridiculous. Dell here goes on to say, and let's not forget it was men who enforced both of these laws. Y'all are sabotaging yourself. Speaking of sabotage, okay, I wonder how these women would go defending their countries. Okay, let's just assume, let's just, you know, make it so that nobody has to defend their countries, nobody has to defend whatever the hell they believe in, and we'll just see how that goes. Okay, then we'd have all the women complaining because we're being invaded and we're not defending anything and we're not real men. So either way, you can't win. But hey, you know, this woman here, Dell, an absolute scholar of our generation, just seems to know that we are sabotaging ourselves, guys. And hell, maybe we shouldn't just be defending our countries. Right, hell, I know a lot of guys at the moment, guys, a lot of men, they look at countries in the West, whether you're from America or whether you're from America or wherever else, and a lot of guys are just not interested in defending these women anymore. So I say, hey, just let them at it, guys, just let them at it. But let's continue on to the next clip here. We have a few more of these pulled up from this particular woman, because as you all know, guys, when we pull up these TikToks, they're a dime a dozen. And if you find one girl, you typically find a whole host of terrible ideas. So let's jump into the next one.
The key to a happy marriage, especially for you ladies, is listen to your husband, respect him, allow him to be the man he can be. Man, shut up!
Yeah, funny stuff. So obviously she's making a bit of a satirical video here where she's saying to respect men, and then she yells at the man. Now, I tell you what, there are a lot of men who are not interested in getting married. They're not interested in having relationships with these women anymore. And the people who lose out at the end, it's really not the men. right? It really isn't. It's the girls. A lot of them, they don't, as much as they say that they're strong and independent boss babes, you know, and they love their career and stuff like that. A lot of them get to 35, they get to 40. They don't want to put in the rest of the work for the rest of their life to pay off their mortgage by the time they're 70. They realize that they're running out of time to have children. And then what do? They come crying back to the men that they neglected the entire damn time. There are dudes watching this video, man, who you could go through their DMs and find multiple instances of women who rejected them previously start to reach out with those, oh, hey, stranger, texts, right? I saw an AMS video a while ago, guys. I really like AMS. He's a red pill YouTube content creator, been around for quite a while at this point. I think the guy's hilarious, okay? And he put out a video where he's talking about this, where like women's standards when they're in their 20s, stupidly high. You know, you need a guy who's over 6 foot, 6 figures, all this bullcrap, okay? But then as these girls start to get older, okay, then the list of demands starts to shrink and shrink and shrink, and they start getting desperate. Why? Because they're running out of time to have kids. They're running out of time to have a marriage. And to be honest, guys, I think it's funny. I think it's damn funny. It's not the men who lose out. A lot of guys are just going to like Eastern countries or wherever else because they're not interested in dating these girls anymore. But you go off, you empowered queen, you. Now let's jump into the next clip here. What's this one? Oh, it's muted. Goodness. So obviously, guys, you know, we're just dressed up for our TikTok videos right here.
My girlfriends always ask me why I never save a guy's number in my phone. Pretty simple. You don't name a puppy unless you decide to keep it.
Right, okay, fantastic. How strong and empowered of you. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Where's the next clip?
A human heart costs $1.4 million, and I gave you mine for free. You ungrateful asshole.
So let's put the combination of those two clips together, okay? So she's saying, you know, men ain't crap. I don't need to put their numbers in my phone because I haven't selected him. But at the same time, we've got videos of this woman sitting here crying because her heart's been broken by some dude that didn't want her, right? So it sucks when it happens to you, okay? But you're just free to go out here and just act like you're the bee's knees and treat everybody like crap. Guys, there is nothing funnier than these girls going out here and being like, oh yeah, I'm a boss babe, and then being unable to keep a man. Do you understand? Let me pull this video down a bit here. Do you understand how not difficult it is to keep a man and how absolutely clueless you have to be to not have a boyfriend? Like, that's just the funniest thing to me, guys. Like, girls who rock up to 35 and they're like, oh, I've wanted to get married this entire time, but I just haven't found that one guy. It's like, bro, you have passed that one guy so many damn times, but your ego got in the way of you and having a family. Like, isn't that crazy, guys? In the year 2022, okay, a lot of these women, they can go out there, they can have families, they can have children if they want to. Now, not every girl wants to have children, sure, okay? But a lot of them, they eventually want to have kids and stuff like this. And it's not as if these things are unattainable, despite the inhospitable environment towards men, but they all somehow manage to be manless, okay? Like, how many of these girls are rocking up to family gatherings, the family's asking them, oh, do you have a boyfriend, do you have a husband, do you have any kids? And they just have to sit there looking stupid because they don't, because their ego is too big. That's crazy. Let's continue on to the next video here.
He took 3 days to respond to you, and you're gonna text him back? Sorry, girl, no.
Yeah, so you'll notice a theme with these videos, okay, where the girl is just out here getting ghosted. And the amazing part about this, guys, is like, I don't think that this girl looks that bad. I really don't. Like, she's got some very big lip fillers, it seems like, but I think we can all agree this is not a terrible looking girl, okay? And she's out here complaining because she can't find a man. Dudes are taking 3 days to respond to her. I've said this point many times, guys, but for women, dating is not a difficult thing. It's basically as difficult as you choose to make it. It really is. Now, dating for dudes is incredibly difficult, and I don't say that to throw a pity party, guys, but the juxtaposition between the two is absolutely astounding. You see, when dudes complain about dating, I can empathize, right? I can go, yeah, it completely sucks. Or if a dude's talking about marriage and, you know, he's lost all his stuff, or his girl's being a complete a-hole, but he doesn't feel like he can leave. Look, I can empathize with that. Okay, I can empathize with the men's situations with dating. Why? Because it's genuinely difficult. I cannot empathize with these girls because their ego is making it difficult for them. Right? If you haven't found a guy that says more about you, this woman is on TikTok, guys. Like, we are more connected than we have ever been, and yet these girls are more unable to secure a relationship than they have ever been. Make that make sense to me. Let's continue to the next video, where she's going to tell us what she does for a living. So let's take a listen.
What do you do for a living?
Excuse me?
What do you do for a living?
Oh, I breathe oxygen. A lot of it.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah, really intelligent, high quality stuff here. Fantastic. Right? And guys, girls have done this to themselves as well. It's like, you want to go out here, you want to be a boss babe, you want to, it's funny, right? Girls will say, we want equal opportunities, we want to be paid as much, despite the fact that it's literally illegal to pay people different amounts on the basis of gender, okay? But then what happens is you open up the job market to the girls, so the girls are all out here like, yay, I'm strong and empowered, I'm making money, I'm a boss babe. And then what do they realize, okay? Well, if you double the workforce, right, then you reduce the price of labor, guys. So what happens? A lot of people, you know, it's become very difficult to afford just basic living off of a one-person income, right? A lot, like, we've all seen the housing market these days, guys. The markets are going to crap, okay? And a lot of the times, if you're trying to raise children and stuff like that, you really do need two people's worth of income. You see, gone are the days, the patriarchal days, where the man would take care of you. Right? Like, women have liberated themselves, all right, guys, and they have liberated themselves from men providing for them. So as far as I'm concerned, who the hell cares? Let's continue to the next one here. And of course, we're just like going up in ridiculous outfits, I guess.
Yeah, he broke my heart, but he broke my heart. He chose to break my heart. So I will continue to believe we're soulmates. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anyone who believes in soulmates in 2022, a little bit delusional. I won't lie, a little bit delusional. And the funny part is, girls can afford to believe in soulmates for a longer period of time than men can. Okay, a lot of dudes, they'll go through the dating market and they'll realize, you know, reality will kick them in the ass. Okay, if you're a 30-year-old dude and you're not super attractive and you've got no job and you live with your parents, ain't no girl gonna give a crap about you. Okay, so you can't really afford to believe in soulmates when you're broke. Isn't that interesting, right? Like, girls can afford to believe in soulmates all they want, and they can sell you this idea because, let's be honest, it's beneficial to for them to sell you the idea, okay? But as a dude, you know, you really can't, okay? Like, they'll try and push it on you, and yeah, a lot of guys will believe in it. But the thing is, like, reality will continue to kick you in the ass until either things go very, very poorly for you, or you discover, like, you know, the RP community or something like that. Right? It's really not feasible as a man to go through. If you're a dude and you go through life believing in the soulmate myth, you're going to have a very hard time ahead of you, is what I'm trying to say here. You're going to have a very difficult time. But these girls, they'll go out here till they're 40, 50 plus, and then they'll start to complain when they're a feminist and they're at this age and no guy wants to talk to them because they're damn well invisible. So let's jump into this next video here, where she says, when he asks to split the bill on the first date.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, right. How's that for equality, okay? So we want all this equality. We want the equal pay. We want dudes to take us seriously. But at the same time, as all of this equality is going on, men have to provide for us, men have to buy things for us, and men have to come out here and bend the knee because we are oh so worth it. It's like, it's funny how society will still expect men to commit to women and men to do all of these things for girls, when the question I always ask is, why the hell should men do that? Okay, this woman right here, guys, let's just make an educated guess here. There have probably been more than one instances in this woman's life where she has gone home and she has seen a random dude and gotten with him on the first night out. You see what I'm saying? And yet you as a man are expected to take this woman out on a date, to pay for her dates, to court her, and to take her seriously. Like, that's just amazing to me, how dudes are expected to do all of this crap, and for what? Okay, for a girl who treats dudes like crap, for a girl who doesn't even like or respect men, for a girl who sees multiple men at the same time. Like, why on earth would you go out there and do that to yourself? Because the thing is, even if you do get with the girl and you guys have a long-term relationship, let's not kid ourselves here. The rate of infidelity has gone through the roof because you've proven that you're willing to put up with her bullcrap. Amazing stuff. Now let's continue to the last video, and then we'll jump into today's Reddit story and wrap up today's episode. So let's take a listen.
All I'm saying is, if I'm still single by February 14th, I'm taking a screenshot of my inbox and we all gonna be single.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. If you have so many dudes in your DMs and you're going to make them all single, okay, by, I'm assuming, showing their girlfriends or something like that if they're messaging you when they have girlfriends or whatever. First of all, this whole thing that you just said right here, not a flex, it's cringe. Second of all, you have all these dudes in your DMs and you want to sit here complaining about the fact that you're single. Like, how does that make sense? So you're crying about how your heart's been broken and about how dudes don't reply to you for 3 days and all this kind of bullcrap. And we're supposed to empathize with you, think that you're the victim and you're out here getting ghosted. When at the same time, you're sitting here and you're trying to say that your inbox is full of dudes and you're going to expose them all. So, full of dudes can't find a man. Interesting how that works. Now, guys, let's jump into today's Reddit story and then wrap up today's episode before I have an aneurysm listening to some of these TikToks. So this is a bit of an interesting one, a bit of a rough one right here. And we have a Reddit story from 5 hours ago, so very recently, titled, "Fiance cheated on me 2 months before the wedding." Now, you already know this is going to be a dude, so let's jump into it. Backgrounds: I am a 32-year-old male. My fiance is a 25-year-old female. We have been together for 3 years, engaged in December of 2021. Wedding is scheduled for the 8th of the 7th in this place with 55 people and family attending total, it seems. They've already paid and mostly booked the flights. So right off the bat, first error is getting married in 2022. Anytime I hear about a dude wanting to get married, guys, like, I can't get behind it. If dudes want to go out here and make this terrible decision, sure, but I'm not going to advocate for dudes to go out here and get married. It is a terrible idea. I don't understand. Like, I see a lot of content creators, right, who are like, you know, who have very, very big platforms and whatever, and they just never talk about this. You as a man, it is my opinion, guys, you can do whatever the hell you want, should not be getting married in the year 2022. It does not benefit men at all. It is a huge liability for no reason whatsoever. Okay? And I don't know why, but I see like big content creators talking about marriage as if it's some like positive thing that's just a natural progression for men. Yeah, maybe like years and years ago, but this is 2022, guys. You want to get married as a man in this year, be prepared to get absolutely screwed over. But let's continue. So I just found out this morning that my fiance has had bedroom fun with this guy 2 times in the last 3 weeks. So let me just be clear, this is probably more than this. 2 times in the last 3 weeks. I'm gonna hazard a guess here and say that it was more than that. The guy is a mutual friend of ours. Yeah, he's not a friend of yours, my man. The last couple of weekends, she has been going out and getting intoxicated, but I've been very busy with work, so a couple of times I chose not to go. She assured me at the beginning of the night that she would Uber back home. Well, I wouldn't hear from her until the next day, so I became suspicious. I went through her phone this morning and saw texts and confronted her. She admitted that she got with this guy twice. What also really gets me is some of the messages were flirty and inappropriate. You mean to tell me that this guy got cheated on by his fiance 2 months before their wedding, and this guy's like, he's like, oh yeah, and their messages were inappropriate? Like, my man, what are you smoking? Now that I found out she is desperate to fix things, she says that she doesn't want to lose me and will do anything. Yeah, it sounds like you might have money or something like that, my guy. It sounds like your work and your willingness to do work probably means that you have some money, and that's why she wants to get married to you. But yeah. I'm conflicted because I love this life we've built together and I don't want to be alone in this new house that we built last year. Oh, there we go. There's the asset that she's after. But I am also disgusted and just grossed out. Also, canceling the wedding will really screw over a lot of people. Postponing may be an option, but I'm not sure. What are your thoughts? It never ceases to amaze me, guys, how men will go through these terrible situations and then they'll sit there and they'll ask permission to feel outraged or to leave a relationship. Like, what are we asking for permission for? Like, why are so many dudes out here asking for permission for the most basic crap? Like, if a girl does this, guys, you are gone. You are gone so damn quick. She's getting out of your damn house. Like, what on earth is even this? Oh, I don't know if I have the right to feel this way. Like, society will, it's so funny to me, man, how, like, you know, you look at this stuff and people just pretend like dudes have feelings. Like, dudes have been convinced that they don't have feelings to the point where they're not even sure if they're allowed to be frustrated. Like, that's just amazing. But let's take a look at some of these comments, see what these people have to say, and then wrap up today's episode. And look at this, right? Look what they put here. So this is the relationship advice, a subreddit. Check this out. This is an auto response to what this man posted, okay? Welcome to r/relationship advice. Please make sure you read our rules here. We'd like to take this time to remind users that we do not allow any type of content. We do not allow any type of am I the a-hole or situations content involving minors. Yeah, fair enough. Any sort of name calling, insults, etc. will result in the comment being removed and the user being banned. No referencing hateful subreddits and or their rhetoric includes but is not limited to red, blue, black, and purple pill, FDS, and dudes who go their own way. Any infractions of this rule will result in a ban. This is not an all-inclusive list. Interesting how that works. So basically, if dudes want to get any sort of information that has utility at all, it's going to be banned from the subreddit. So fantastic stuff. Good. It's fantastic, right? How we've got a dude here who got cheated on. He's looking for some answers, and then you've excluded the predominant answers that he's going to be able to receive. Fantastic stuff. So this individual here says, no, you cancel it. I'm sorry. I have sympathy for both of you. As I was in this situation a few years ago, I can understand sometimes it's very hard for the cheater to leave or accept and change or admit to why they feel this was better than being honest, but it's over and it will be a slow death if you stay together. She doesn't respect you, and if you pay the majority of the bills while she felt this was okay right before the wedding, then she will suck out all the self-respect that you have in the course of your marriage to her. Do the most loving thing you can for her and let her go while you can still look at her. Now, guys, I will say this. Love in 2022, a pretty laughable thing. To me, guys, respect comes above all else. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments, guys. If you have anything to share, any opinions, personal experiences, feel free to do so, guys. That is what the comments box is for. And as always, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's video. Before you head out, there's just a few announcements that I'd like to make. The first is that my editor, who goes through all of the blood, sweat, and tears of putting together content for us to endure, has started his own YouTube channel. The link will be in the video description, so make sure that you go and show him some support by going and giving him a sub. Also, we are currently looking to expand Fiendish content creation behind the scenes, so if you're interested in becoming a content creator alongside me, be sure to check out the application form at the very bottom of the video description. This is for those of you who are interested in becoming a part of the content that you see here on YouTube. So if you're interested in applying, make sure to get in quick. People who apply first will have priority for consideration. Again, the link is at the very bottom of the video description. Lastly, if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, there are links to both Patreon and locals below the video, guys. I'd like to extend a huge thank you to the supporters on those two platforms. You guys allow me to make these episodes, and your support is greatly appreciated. As always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I will catch you later for real this time, guys. Peace.